It was the middle of the night when the pounding on my front door started. Bang! 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 I jolted awake, my heart racing. I checked the clock, 1:03 a.m. The street outside was silent except for the wind scraping against the old mailbox. I grabbed my robe, hurried down the stairs and opened the door, and my daughter Lily fell straight into my arms. Her face was swollen, her lips split, one eye purple and closing. She was shaking so violently that I could barely keep her upright. "Mom," she whispered, voice broken. He hit me," I froze. "Who, Lily?" She didn't have to answer. I knew. Ryan, my son-in-law. I pulled her inside, locking the door behind us. Her nightgown was torn, one shoulder bruised, and there was blood drying on her neck. I guided her to the sofa, fetched a wet towel and pressed it gently against her face. Her lips trembled. "He found a message on my phone. But it wasn't even mine, Mom, it was his mistress. He'd saved her number under my name to hide it. When I asked him who she was, he snapped. I felt rage boiling through my chest. He hit you because you found out?" She nodded, tears streaming down. He said I ruined his life. That she's the only one who makes him happy. I clenched my fists, my breath coming in short bursts. I wanted to storm over there right then. But looking at my daughter, her bruised, broken, I realized she didn't need vengeance yet. She needed Saf. I cleaned her wounds and sat beside her until she fell asleep on the couch. But I couldn't. I just stared at her, my baby girl who once ran through these same halls laughing, who used to call me after every date with Ryan saying, "Mom, he's the one." Now she was lying there, destroyed by the same man. I whispered to myself, "You hurt the wrong woman's daughter." Ryan. By morning I'd already made a Platt sunrise. I drove to their house. The door was slightly open, curtains drawn. When I stepped inside, the smell of alcohol and perfume hit me. Ryan sat on the couch, head in his hands. He looked up, startled. "Mrs. Carter?" I didn't flinch. "Don't you Mrs. Carter me. You laid your hands on Lily." He laughed bitterly. "She deserved it." She was snooping around in my phone. I walked closer. "You think that justifies this?" She made me angry. "You don't understand what she's like." I stared at him, disgusted. "No, Ryan. I understand exactly what you are. A coward who hides his affair behind his wife's pain." For a second, he looked like he wanted to argue, but I stepped closer and said quietly, "You're going to regret every bruise you left on her." I turned and walked out, but not before noticing a framed picture of Lily and Ryan on their wedding day, glass cracked down the middle. Maybe fate had already started breaking him. Apart 2 days later, Lily got a call from an unknown number. She froze when she heard the voice. "Hi, this is Alyssa. I think we need to talk." It was her, the mistress. I listened on speaker as Alyssa confessed. "He told me he was single. He said you were a crazy ex who wouldn't move out." "I didn't know he was still married." Lily's eyes widened. "So you didn't know about me?" "No, but I do now. And I'm done with him. He's dangerous." After the call, I saw something shift in my daughter's eyes, strength, maybe even defiance. "Mom," she said, "I want to file a report," and I smiled. "That's my girl at the police station." Lily's hands trembled as she told her story. The officer listened quietly, then nodded. "You're not the first woman he's hurt. We've had complaints before." That line made my blood run cold. Before? They arrested Ryan 2 days later for domestic assault and destruction of property. He screamed at Lily as they dragged him out. "You'll regret this." But she didn't cry. She just stood there silent, her head high. I'd never been pro weeks past. The bruises faded, but the pain inside took longer. Lily moved back home, started therapy, and began painting again, something she hadn't done in years. Her canvases were dark at first, stormy skies and broken glass. But slowly they changed, softer colors, dawn breaking through gray clouds. One evening, she said quietly, "Mom, I used to think love meant forgiveness. Now I know it means respect." I nodded. "And you'll never settle for less again." She smiled, the first real smile I'd seen in months. It was almost poetic. Another knock at the door, early in the morning this time. When I opened it, a police officer stood there. "Ma'am, Ryan Carter was found last night. He was in a bar fight. He's in custody again." I didn't feel joy or anger, just relief. Maybe karma had finally done its job. I turned back toward the living room where Lily was sitting at her easel, painting sunlight breaking through clouds. She looked up and asked, "Who was it, Mom?" I smiled gently. No one we need to worry about anymore. Then I made us both coffee, sat beside her, and watched her paint a new life. One where no man could ever take her light again. Because at 1 a.m. that night, my daughter didn't just collapse at my door, she came home to her strength. 450 words, 8-tier, 8-minute dramatic short story. Genre, family drama, emotional revenge. Would you like me to expand this version into a 9,000-word 8-scene story? Deeper emotions, dialogues, and subplots? Or should I make this current 8-minute version ready for voiceover narration or video script format, with scene directions and timing?